welcome to the show. If you want to send me in a email and get me to talk about a specific topic, a question, anything that you're curious about, shoot me an email at egliskiscapital@protonmail.com. And I'd be so grateful if you could go to whatever platform you listen to and drop me a rating or review on Apple. You scroll all the way to the bottom of the episodes and you can write a review. And on Spotify, you could just do a star rating. It means a lot. I appreciate you. So let's get into it. Today, I'm going to speak about goals and meaning around goals. So, number one is, why are you doing what you're doing? And you might have an artificial answer like pay the bills, survive. I understand. And that makes sense. But we have to unravel things a bit deeper. Are you working a job that gives you a status simply for your ego? Or are you serving people in that job, getting feelings of fulfillment and value, and overall making a positive impact on other people's lives? See, there's a big difference between one and two. So this really comes down to, are you aligned with what you're doing every day? Especially if you're working a 9 to 5, that means like 70, 80% of your waking hours are spent doing this specific activity. So, geez, it makes sense to me to enjoy what you're doing for 70 to 80% of your waking hours. And see, this for my generation specifically is very different from previous generations. I'm not going to blow the horn and say entrepreneurship is the only way. Of course not. We need people who are going to work 9 to 5s because there is a lot of value provided from 9 to 5s. But at the same time, if you have a feeling deep within, a urge to do something that is new, not really average, to be a creator in any sort, to sell something online, whatever you may be passionate about selling, I trust you should probably go for that. And here's the thing, what's easier? The 9 to 5 is probably easier to get, but over a long period of time, you can't even imagine how that will wear and tear at your heart. And the same goes for starting the entrepreneurship. I can't pronounce it properly, is you will have a terribly rough time at the beginning. But they say this, you're going to underestimate what you can get done in 2 to 5 years, but you'll overestimate what you can do in 5 months. So if you are doing something that you feel fulfillment from, you're passionate about, a reminder for you and me, because I have moments of doubt all the time, but I'm working on that. And what is so important is you recognize that feeling of doubt, but you remind yourself of the long-term vision, why you're doing what you're doing, because the passion and the fulfillment is there. So for me especially, I have a grandpa who was really pressuring me to go do some blue collar work. And I completely respect plumbers and electricians and anyone doing that sort of work. It's hard work. It humbles you. You're working with your hands, your body, and those people are amazing people. Of course, I'm generalizing. Gen er generalizing. Good Lord. And I speak in averages. What I mean is, of course, there might be some stuck up, rude plumber out there, but the majority of those people are good, honest, hard workers. So, point is what you're doing with your time something that you want to be doing over a longer period of time because you enjoy it? Or are you simply surviving? And if you are not thriving, but surviving, I would recommend you start to make a plan of action. and get intentional with your spare time. I know this isn't easy because you have energy levels. You work hard at work. It's not easy to start something on the side, but trust me, somehow, some way, you're going to want to figure out how to align yourself with some sort of fulfillment and passion. And maybe this is not where you make your money from. It doesn't have to be where you make your money from, but you need a creative outlet, some sort of area in your life that you feel that natural fire, the burn, the passion inside. You need that. No one can get by living a life absent of meaning and passion. So it's up to you to figure out where it comes from. But I would not wake up a single day without intently searching for that passion if you're not aware of where it lies currently. So, number two, the fear of not pursuing your goals. And interesting. So, there's the fear of taking action, the fear of stepping out, quote unquote, failing. But see, you have to reframe failure. Failure is not you making a mistake in front of others. Failure is you quitting on yourself. When you specifically stepped out of the box, knowing that what you were doing was not average, but then you can't handle it and the feeling of uncomfortability arises, and then back into the box you return. That is what failure can simply be looked as. If you don't quit, you haven't failed. So don't quit. And the fear of not pursuing your goals, that is it's significant because not human, what's the word? Scientific studies have been done that humans feel the pain of regret much more often from not taking action than from taking action. So if you're scared to go up to that girl, let's think about it. You go up to the girl, she says something you don't want to hear, and bada bing. You're not going to be caught in that moment forever. It's quick, the pain of rejection. But guess what? You need to rewire that and understand, okay, I was scared to do it. I did it. Maybe it didn't work out the way I wanted, but I did it. So next time you can do it again. And next time, maybe it works out differently. So the way that you reframe situations is significant to your whole future development. And it takes effort, it takes pain, and lots of personal struggle to understand how important the way you frame situations is. But it cannot be underestimated. It's priceless. The mind, it's one of two things. It's either a enjoyable state of being or it's a fucking prison. And it's up to us how we spend our time, how we use our mind and our focus. That those things determine what category, one or two, our mind becomes. And so if the fear of not pursuing your goals, you have the regret of when you don't take action, that regret gnaws, that regret grows so large. If you're meant to take action, you will take action. I can't give you some magic pill, some speech that will get you to do it. It's just you realize, if I don't do this, man, I'm going to be where I'm at and I don't like where I'm at. So I have to do this. Kind of simple. And another domain that has been huge for me is reminding myself of being average and mediocre. And this isn't this is not a attack on mediocre people. It is this fire inside of my soul that doesn't accept myself being a mediocre and average person. And I can say that as precise and clear as I want. And for some reason, it still sounds egotistical, but trust me, it's not a perception like I'm better than you because you're average. It's more so a standard that you set for yourself. I don't know how great I can be. So I'm going to fuel myself with the correct thoughts that propel me to see how great I can be. I like how that sounds. So it comes down to you understanding nobody knows your potential. You don't know your potential. What can you do to figure it out? Set the bar fucking high. With that high bar, bing, bing, bing. You push yourself, you fail, you come back, don't give up, and you break your previous barriers and limits. And it is just this huge process of reflecting upon how you're doing things, trying to get a little better, learning from new people, being open minded to new suggestions, new ideas, thinking, and paying specific attention to what you put into your psyche and your physical body. So, and then a good question: what if I don't do this? Pertaining to your goals. For me, well, we won't have to talk about me. We can do more of a broad breakdown. If you don't take part in let's say your health, going to the gym, fueling your mind and body properly, where will you end up? Well, you might end up being single and having no intimate connection with someone, which to me sounds quite disgusting. Maybe it's surely okay when you're building yourself in your 20s, but if you're an older human being who has no family or at least no good deep connections and relationships, see, it's just a human fact. We need to collaborate with others. It's intrinsic to our beings. So what if I don't do this? You paint a picture of all the consequences of not taking action on the task or activity that you know must be initiated. If you don't do that, you get clear on all of the consequences. Now you have a fire on your ass to get you to do it. See, it's it is just as important to know what not to do, to have something to run from, than to know what to do and to have a goal. Because motivation, okay, it's motivation. But if you don't want to be weak, if you don't want to have negative thoughts, if you don't want to grow soft and flabby, you better train. So, sure, it's cool to say, I want to be like Arnold. I want to be in great shape. But having something to run from, what if I don't do it? That keeps me going much more than the wishy washy, good feely motivation. And Carl Jung says this, or I've learned it from Jordan Peterson depicting Carl Jung, but you have to initiate your shadow. We all know, well, not all of us, but most people, I at least know I have the capacity to be an evil motherfucker. Like I can just be this nihilist human who acts as if there's no meaning to anyone, anything, treats people like trash, is very ego focused and self-serving, and then rude to others. That's the destructive monster inside of me, and I recognize that he's there, and that's what keeps me fueling myself being my best, because I know deep down if I fall off of the focus, the intention with my time and attention, bad things happen. So it's this everyday process of reminding yourself how bad things can be. And therefore, squeezing out gratitude because you realize how bad you could be, how bad your situation could be, and it's not that bad. So be grateful. And three, life is meant to be challenging. Okay. Life is meant to be challenging. Take that for what it is. I know it's not really appealing. We want some sort of easy life, but then the more you experience every day, you realize, yeah, no, that's not what I want. And I wanted an easy life a while ago. And a couple years later, I came to understand that's just not what it's going to be like. Not at all. You could give me everything I wanted right now, and my life would still not be easy. Physically, maybe it'd be easy, but guess what? Psychologically, not easy. Your mind, your soul, it knows what you're supposed to be doing. And being aligned with your higher self, your purpose, it takes number one, elimination of distractions and lower frequency activities. Like, of course, if you're smoking weed every day, which the reason I want to break it down, smoking weed numbs yourself, suppresses your feelings. And if you are doing that every day, all day, you're not going to have feelings, or they're at least going to be quite suppressed feelings, very minor, compared to that disgust that you would get with yourself if you realized you're a fat ass 30-year-old sitting on a couch in your mom's basement and you're not doing anything but running from your feelings. You will have such a difference in the significance, the volatility of your emotions when you get clear, when you stop numbing yourself. So that's just a mini tangent about the substances, what you fool yourself with. Of course, you're not going to be so upset if you're always numbing yourself. But at the same time, you still manage to be quite miserable numbing yourself. I don't know how exactly to put it into words right now at this moment, but the thoughts are still there. You still get them. They're just not as loud as if you weren't numbing yourself. They're still there though. And so life is meant to be challenging, but you grow stronger through the challenges. You have to understand that persevering through horribly tough moments, that is for you. That makes you a better, a more confident and tougher human, and humans need to be tough. I'm not saying you're going to have someone come up to you and try to attack you often. I've never had someone do that to me. But does it still help me every single day to know that physically I can defend myself, that mentally I've gone through the ins and outs of tough times? Yeah. And it will only benefit you to go through hard things and to search for a lesson through the hard moments. Like, it's a choice you make, the growth mindset or the fixed mindset. You say you're in a ditch, you have a few sticks. Do you try and make a ladder, make something to get up? Or do you sit there and whine and complain and say, wow, I'm stuck here. Look at me. I wish someone would help me. There's just that simple difference of how you break down a situation. Do you view the workout, the suffering, the studying, anything that's hard for you? Do you view that as this is helping me get to where I want to go? Or is it simply an opportunity for you to complain and mope? It's your choice. And those who trigger you, they are showing you where you need to grow. So for me, anger issues, losing my cool happens quickly. Getting angry happens so fast. By the time you've realized you're angry, it's a bit too late. So, but that means there's something for you to work on. When this person, whatever they're doing, is triggering you consistently, if you show up to that situation with a awareness to look and search for that lesson, where can I learn? How can I use this to make my problem solving in this scenario, the way I react, better? Well, it takes time and reflection to figure this out. But if someone is always, not someone, let's say traffic is the generalized example, you're always raging in traffic. Well, what is that teaching you? Number two, maybe you're just rushing too much and you're not planning. That could be one solution that comes from your traffic issue. And number two could be maybe you're just reacting instead of taking a deep breath, not even a deep one, just a quick breath, and then choosing not to get angry. This stuff is simple but complex, and it really takes mindfulness, awareness, noticing the decision before you make the decision. But as long as you're thinking about it, that's the first step. You think about these things. Now you're on that path. Before you hadn't even thought about it, you're not on the path. So, lastly, to be open, to observe with a broad lens. So, life is challenging. Life will bring tough moments. But if you take a step back and aim to gather lessons, to instead of judging people, to observe, instead of wishing, or not even wishing, but thinking negative things about others, to send positive thoughts and prayers their way. Your lens, it is determined by you. You don't control much. You control your thoughts, your actions, and how you show up, your energy. So rather than judging others, when you see someone who's clearly down and distraught, you don't have to say something to them, but if you silently wish them goodness, you think good thoughts, you send good energy their way, sure, sounds woo-woo. We'll just say it's vibes. Once you realize that life is hard, you realize people don't need more hard things coming their way. They need some love, they need some appreciation, some kind thoughts going their way. That's where we'll end off. On a positive note, I'm wishing all of you a good day. Everyone who's taken the time to listen, to try and understand their psychology and their physiology a bit more, prayers to you. I think you're on a great path and you're never alone. I'm struggling. And if you're struggling, I'm always here to talk. And you just have to continue to persevere, to have that high aim, and to really do the practical things each day. Get that workout, get that sunlight, do the reading, study someone, and stay away from the negative things. Don't numb yourself constantly. The substances, the vices, the fast food, those are like the top three destructive things that so many people, if you drop those, the substances, the vices, and the fast food, your life will substantially get better. From there, no one can stop you. No one can stop you. So I appreciate you. Have a good day.